Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
It's March Mania at Sports Interaction. NHL, NBA, March Madness, MLB, and so much more. It's bananas. Play Pinata Picks and Minute Madness, exclusive games with insane odds you can't play anywhere else. Make your next bet with Sports Interaction. Download the app in Ontario using the QR code on your screen, or head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN to get started. 19 plus, please play responsibly. What a game. Flat out, what a game. Absolutely crazy. First of all, haven't seen a blowout like that in quite some time. I mean, 9-0 in a playoff game? Like, that's absolutely, I can't believe. Oh, okay, that was 67's game.
That's the other Ottawa team.
That's the other Ottawa team.
Don't you wish you were doing a game over Ottawa 67s right now?
That'd be so much fun. That'd be so much. They've been so good for so long now. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna pass it over to you because I don't even know how to introduce the idea. Like, not even just the idea of this game.
Oh God. I will say, if you're a neutral fan, just a fan of any other team that was not involved tonight, probably this would have been a pretty fun game to watch. But and of course, as a Panthers fan, but as a Senators fan, that was literally the game from hell. Is the only way I can put it. I have had nightmares about Sens hockey that went pretty similar to this. I was thinking about it during the second period. A specific dream that I had once actually this season, and then you texted me and you're like, this is a nightmare game, and I'm like, yeah, there was a specific dream I had that I was going to mention on the show. It was basically playing out about the same as this, and in the dream, Brady Tkachuk ended up fighting Igor Shesterkin, which we didn't quite get that level of chaos here today, but there was a lot of involvement with Brady and the Panthers goalie, and just fights galore, and the Sens getting their asses kicked. So this was literally a nightmare game.
Yeah, like, has there ever been a game? So I'm okay. So, like, for off the top, I just want to say that maybe I'm crazy. But I'm not like that upset at the game because I think this is just one of those games where, like, you can't explain it.
Yeah.
I don't like okay. So the Sens have like a 12-year-old in net and one defenseman left. Like, what are you going to do? You know, like, and that said, like, I think the only frustrating thing is they played really well. The Sens played really well outside of, some really just sloppy shots that absolutely should have been stopped. Like, I'm going straight to natural stat trick. Expected
I have
goals.
that open as well as money puck.
Yeah, so Sens expected goals 73.2%.
Oh God.
Okay. High danger chances 16-3 in favor of the Sens.
They only had 3 high danger chances. Oh God, I didn't even see that.
It's
Holy.
And listen, I am fully on board with the idea of Levy being like the future of the goaltending for this team. Just brutal game. Both, like, from him and from Sogard. Like, both of them.
Sogard somehow came in and was worse. I couldn't believe that. It was just neither of them had it tonight. And I think, like, we have to mention as well Talbot with the scratch.
Yeah.
Raphael pointing that out in the chat, saying Talbot was scratched. I'm not mad nor surprised. And I think everyone was kind of happy to see it. Like, the coaching staff kind of sending a message to a veteran player saying, you haven't been good enough and it doesn't seem like your head is in the game, so we're going with both rookies over you. And then I just think it's a complete shame that both the rookies were completely terrible tonight right when we scratched Talbot. Do you think that we see Talbot in again, or do you think they're going to double down and just keep him scratched for the rest of the year?
Oh, well, it's 2 home games and then the last road game against Buffalo.
Yeah.
I hate the legitimacy of that question. That's a really good question.
It's so bad that I have to ask that already. After
Like,
one game of Talbot being scratched.
Oh, I don't know. If both goalies hadn't stunk so bad, I would say absolutely Talbot's not playing again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because the last two home games are what, Tampa and Carolina.
Yeah, good teams. We still have to play more good teams.
I don't know. I don't know what you do. I honestly, I have no idea. I have no clue. I honestly, like I think that this is me being petty. I would just scratch him for the rest of the year.
I would
Um,
too, to be honest. If I had to say,
but
if I had to pick.
yeah, I mean, if you're picking between the two, let the kids go and just see what happens. Give them if you aren't going to get anything out of the rest of the season, at least give them a bit more experience. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like I said, I don't wanna be too upset about this game because it was just poor goaltending from very inexperienced as far as NHL level goes goaltenders, and the team is missing everybody. And by halfway through the second period, they were literally missing everybody. Um,
Yeah.
so I do want to try and look at it like as you pointed out at the start of the show. If you're just a fan of hockey watching this game would have been a blast. Like
Mm-hmm.
an
Yep.
absolutely nutty game, and it was entertaining. Like, so it was a nightmare for Sens fans until I think at some point we all kind of hit that spot where we're just like, this is just entertainment at this point. Like this is I can't
It
even
just
be
became
mad
funny.
anymore. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't even be mad at this anymore. I took very few notes, just because like it's one of the things like there's so much happening. I was like, it's impossible to take notes for this. So if there's anything you want to touch on first, I don't even know where to start with this absolute shit show.
Yeah, I didn't write notes either, and I think that if I did write notes, I would have given up about halfway through the second period there.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that that's probably what happened with you.
yeah, yeah. I started out really well. This game was like any math class in my life where for the first half I am like really paying attention, doing a great job, and then by the second half I'm like I don't know what's happening. Fuck it. So um
Mm-hmm.
yeah
I guess just one more note on the goalies before we move on from
mm,
that.
yeah
Um, Em in the chat saying, I think you have to, I guess, put Talbot back in, they meant, because you don't want to ruin the young guys. I kind of get that mindset as well. I think what I would do is just play Sogard for the last three games because he has
mm,
shown pretty good, like, what's the word? Like mental toughness. He's been able to bounce back from some rough performances, and I think it was there was a couple games in a row that he did really well. I think it was on the road against Boston, and then it was that 7-2 win against Tampa. He was great in both of those games after having like a really rough stretch the few games before that. So I think Sogard has shown a good ability to be able to bounce back. So I'd like to see them kind of just give him the net for the last three games. But maybe they give Maryland a start at home. Like we play Carolina again and he did well against them. So maybe we see that too. But I don't know, just on my on my thoughts on the goalies, I think that's where I'd leave it with that. I think I'd like to see Sogard for the last three games.
Speaking of goal, I just want to put this out there really quick. I don't want to spend too much time on it because different game that's happening later on.
Oh
But
yeah.
I kind of hope that Buffalo really falls off and they are completely out of playoff contention, because then we'll probably get to see Andy play his
Mm,
probably last NHL game against the Sens, and I
yeah.
want that so badly. I oh you have like I mean I was just like you have no idea, but no, you're also a diehard Sens fan, like like that would be
Hmm.
so cool to see. I mean it's got to be his last NHL game if he plays. It has to be.
Most likely. And like with us being eliminated tonight, Buffalo, I was just looking to see where they're at. Buffalo's 2 points ahead of us with two games in hand. So I guess they're not totally out of it yet, but they have about as much of an uphill battle to climb as we would have, even
Mhm.
if we had won tonight. So I'm thinking it's likely that that game won't matter, but it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, like you said, I'm hoping that it just doesn't matter at all, and then we can just cheer on Andy on that game. It doesn't matter if the Sens win or lose against him.
It'd just be a nice way to end the season.
Hmm.
So other than that, I'm gonna defer to you on this because I did the math myself and apparently it's come out wrong. Maybe there was an additional penalty, but can you say the total number of penalty minutes in this game?
So the number that you ended up was 164. I
Right.
did see 166 on Twitter briefly, but it wasn't like an official source or anything. So one of those two numbers is correct, but that's I wouldn't be surprised if that's the most penalty minutes in any game this season. And we had that game against the Flyers a week ago that was already
Yeah.
insane, and this one just totally topped that in terms of fights and penalty minutes.
And like
Can't believe it.
the length is I watched this is the weirdest thing about the added pitch clock now in baseball. I watched the Jays game. The Jays game took 2.5 hours, and the Sens game took 3 hours today. Like
Oh my God.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely wild now. So yeah, we got to watch probably the most penalty minutes and probably the longest game of the season. If you're as long as you don't cut unless there's a game that went to like double overtime, triple overtime, or something that I'm blanking on right now. But as far as like
Well,
games that ended in regulation, this must have been the
yeah.
longest game of the season.
Yeah, with no overtime. I think the only way a game could be considerably longer than the one was today was if you had like a freaking 10-round shootout or something on
Oh
top of
yeah,
like an
yeah.
already long game. But I think this probably was probably was the longest in terms of how long it took. It was probably slightly over 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to that year that the Blue Jackets took out Tampa. I think it was that season where they went to like triple or quadruple overtime and Seth Jones had like
Mm,
35 minutes or 40 minutes of ice time and then
yeah.
and then everyone just only thinks of that when they think of Seth Jones and that's why Chicago paid so much. I'm getting really off topic here. This game is stupid. Um
This game was very stupid.
the Sens
I
go 0 for
agree.
6 in the power play just to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah. Oh my
Um
God.
that's just a
We
whole other
knew
thing.
we knew they weren't going to score in that 5-on-3. I have to
Oh no, there's
bring
no
this
way.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
I have to bring this up. I tweeted about it before, but I don't think I've ever talked about it on the show. I went and got the stats, and before this game, the
Okay.
Sens 5-on-3 percentage is 11 opportunities, which is now 12, and 2 goals scored 5-on-3 for a percentage of 18.2, which is now you add another opportunity and it goes down. And just the fact that it was a full 2 minutes of 5-on-3 makes it even worse. 18.2% for their 5-on-3 conversion rate is 24th in the league. Pretty much that's actually a little bit higher than you'd expect because you have the Canucks, Flames, Blues, and surprisingly the Panthers, who all don't have a single 5-on-3 goal this year. Except the thing about them is like the Canucks have only had 6 chances, the Flames 6, the Blues
Right.
5. So we've had 12 chances of 5-on-3 and only 2 goals. Like, so that's like by far one of the worst conversion rates because 11, now 12. If you add in the 12th one, I don't know if anyone else near us got a 5-on-3 tonight, but the 12th opportunity tonight puts us tied for third for the most in the league for 5-on-3 opportunities and only 2 goals scored. So I don't know what the hell it is about this team, but I never think that they're going to score on the 5-on-3, and
Yeah.
that's how it's been this year.
So they're worse 5-on-3 than 5-on-4.
Yes.
That is
Yep.
like I mean I don't know how many teams are going to be like that, but that feels nuts. Okay, here's a question for you. What's crazier? The Sens at one point having like one of the best power plays and being completely unable to score 5-on-3 this season, or the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes, I'm sure you've seen this tweet and Travis Yost brought it up on the last show that the Carolina Hurricanes give up goals on the penalty kill at the same rate as league average 5-on-5.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah, and I don't know
I
which is
actually haven't seen
crazier.
that stat.
I don't know which one's crazier than that.
I've been exposed for not watching the previous episode that you did.
That's okay. That's okay.
for not knowing that stat. But that's wild. Can't believe that.
It's stupid. It's nuts. But yeah, 5-on-3. Yeah, like just like he said, as soon as that 5-on-3 started, whatever, they're not going to score. They're not going to score on this.
It sucks too because they had 6 shots on it and a few pretty good one-time opportunities. Like it actually wasn't that bad, but you just knew they weren't going to score. They don't have it on the 5-on-3. I don't know why. And they just
Yeah.
didn't have the scoring touch tonight in general. So even if they did get one there, I think the score was 5-1 at that point. Even if they did get one there, I don't think they were going to mount a comeback.
Okay, so yeah, officially, yeah. So there was a minor penalty added after I had counted it all up, like within it was like 45 seconds after the end of the game. So yeah, the Sens ended up with 88 penalty minutes, the Panthers with 78.
Oh boy.
Now there are I'm going to do the math here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in this game with 15 or more penalty minutes. That is so, and great. I mean, they were handing out misconducts like crazy towards the end just to get guys the hell off the ice, but still, that is so wild. Brady Tkachuk with 17 penalty minutes and 11 minutes on ice.
I was going to say Brady, Patrick Brown, and Kostelic all with 17 penalty minutes, so they all had more penalty minutes than time on ice.
That's that is so wild. Boy. I think I said to you early on in the game, like, the Sens are going to get like 45 shots and have more penalty minutes. They had 58 shots and 30 more penalty minutes.
58 shots. We haven't even mentioned the shot.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that.
Like,
oh my god.
And the goalie for Florida, Alex Lyon. I do gotta say, like, probably most Sens fans will never have heard of this guy ever before tonight. Even though it seems like getting completely goalied by some no-name, at least I feel a little bit better about the fact that he was already on a really good hot streak before he played the Sens. Yeah. Like I pulled up his game log here. Against Toronto, only 2 goals allowed. Against Montreal, 2 goals allowed. Against Columbus, shutout. Against Buffalo, 1 goal allowed. Against the Sens, 2 goals allowed. And that's a 5-game win streak for this guy. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see if the Panthers end up starting him over Bobrovsky in the playoffs. Because even though Bobrovsky's just been out with an illness, it's not like he's been good at all this season. So interesting stuff in the Florida goalie crease.
Yeah, I think the only reason I've heard of him is because I listened to the episode of the SDP where the guys brought him up. So, but I also don't think I've heard about him at all between that first win in this win streak against the Leafs and this one. So, just another example. And also, I think it was the Islanders and the Penguins both won tonight. So it's just another like instance of the Sens losing and every team around them winning. So
those other teams that we're chasing pretty much only ever lost when the Sens weren't making up any ground, and then there was a chance to make up ground, and then we blow it every time. But it's just done at this point, eh? And it sucks as well that at the beginning of last week we beat Florida on home ice. Yeah. And then at that point, it's like, okay, it would still be a miracle run if we made it at this point, but we had hope. And then the Panthers rattle off those 5 straight wins immediately after we beat them head to head. And then the 5th game in that win streak ending up being against us again. It's just, we had no hope of catching them. Unlucky.
It's so brutal. And I can't stop thinking about adding, like, I can't stop. Whenever I look at the standings, I'm always like, I always imagine the Sens with the added 6 points of those losses against Chicago, Vancouver, and Calgary on that last road trip.
Yep.
That last longer, like, Western road trip. Like, add 6 points, they're 87. They got 87. That means they'd be 1 point behind the Penguins.
Even if you just add like 3 points from beating Chicago both times.
That's right. It was
a lot better, even just for Chicago.
Yeah.
I am glad that the Flames somehow managed to go 0-3 against the Blackhawks, because then someone did worse than us against them, which is very impressive.
Yeah. That race for the wild card spot in the West is wild as well. That's gonna be nuts. Oh, like what else can we outline about this game? Like, what else can we possibly this is tough. This is
a couple other like little stats that are funny that I'm sure have been going around Twitter. Like, did you see the money puck deserve to win a meter for this game?
I didn't see it after regulation, but I know at one point it was like 90% Ottawa.
Yeah, so the final one that I'm seeing here is 95.4% for Ottawa, meaning that the Senators... Yeah, meaning that the Senators win this game 95.4% of the time after 1,000 game simulations. So, holy crap. It's hard to rip into the team for this one, despite the 7-1 score. It's just... when with a number like that, it's so goofy. It's so absolutely ridiculous.
Like outside of the insane penalty minutes, is this not like a perfect way to like encapsulate this whole season of like
Yeah.
you don't get goaltending on what should be the easy save. You can't buy a goal when you're getting every chance possible. Like
Mm-hmm.
next season with knock on wood, uh next season with like a healthy roster, um and maybe like an uptick in 3% on shooting percentage, like
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
can hope for the best. But this game really felt like what this entire season has been. And it just started out the exact same way. Like, you messaged me early on in the game, like, oh, the Sens are down 1-0, while completely like just controlling the game and being up in shots. And yeah, that's that's on the bingo card slash Sens drinking game for this season for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I tweeted after the first period that it was just a period of hockey that completely summarized how the season has gone. Just so many periods like that where looking at it now, it was 19 to 8 shots. Actually, that's just 5 at 5. It was 22 to 10 shots for that first period. And the Sens come away down 2-0. We've just had so many games like that where that happens. And the other goofy stat that I want to point out is, do you want to guess what Florida's Corsi percentage was for tonight? Like,
Oh
for
God.
all
Okay.
all situations, the whole game.
So I know
Give me
that
a
at
number.
one point, I don't know the total number of shot attempts for Ottawa. I know they hit 80. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't know if it's going to be as skewed as the high danger. I'm going to say Ottawa Corsi is like Corsi 4%, 73.
You're pretty close. So at all situations, it was 68.75 for the Sens and 31.25 for the Panthers. 5v5 is slightly worse. 5v5 for the Panthers was 30.85. So
Oh
I want to
wow.
know how many games have been won this season by a team with a Corsi of 30 or like below 35, because I can't say I can't guess that it would be very many. And I also want to know how many times a team has scored more than 5 goals with a Corsi percentage that low as well. Because that's so bad. Like, just absolute domination on everything except for the goal totals tonight for the Sens. Like,
Are you able to
it's
look up
ridiculous.
are you able to look up the Corsi numbers on that 5-4 OT loss to the Flyers?
Oh, I
I
think
would
I can
love to
get that.
compare those. I would love to compare that.
Yeah, if you fill time really quickly, I think I'll be
Yeah.
able to get it.
Um so God, so from Adam in the chat, these stats are amazing. Yes, they are, because I think that's all you can do after a game like this is be like, it's just look at like the 1 in a million stats that this game produces. Um, Another stat that I love from this game is that hits were only 24 to 24. I think
Oh, wow.
I've seen so many games with 30 plus hits that felt like just like I was watching like a high school game. You know what I mean? Like, just like no
Mm-hmm.
one, they're very very like not at all physical games where like crack 30 hits each. So the fact that the hits were that low, I think they're probably about 5 times as many punches as hits in this game. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a weird one as well.
I'm struggling to find the previous game. I thought it would be easier on Natural Stat Trick to just go back like 2 weeks, but
Right.
I don't know how to do that on this website, so we might not get that stat, but
We'll
it would be
we'll
interesting to
figure that out for
see.
later. But yeah, it
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
I don't think it'd be that far off from this
probably pretty
game.
similar. Yeah.
So it'd be funny to see that, like, oh, this has happened twice this season, both against the Sens. Like, it's probably gonna be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. At least we won the Flyers game. Oh.
so what else to talk about? Just something about the Florida Panthers. Not to like
Mm-hmm.
out myself as someone who doesn't watch very many Panthers games, but Brandon Montour has 70 points.
Yeah, ridiculous stuff.
What? What on earth is happening?
This is a guy who was traded for a third round pick at last year's trade deadline. Just insane. I don't think the Panthers expected this from him at all. Like,
He's
unreal.
like Imagine that you trade a first for Ben Sherratt and a third
Oh,
for Brandon
yeah.
Montour, and you still
Maybe it
end up
evens
being
out.
like, that's fine.
Yeah. If you just flipped the assets given up on those trades, then it would be perfectly fine. No one would even make fun of him for that at all.
That's so wild. Oh, wow. All right. Well, anything else that you want to add for this game? Because I'm blanking, honestly. Like anything else to bring up, which is weird because this game was so filled. It was filled with just an insane number of like 1 in a million stats. But like,
Yeah, it's like there was almost too much that happened in this game to the point where it's too much to remember. And if we went through like every goal, every big fight or whatever, it would have been it would have just been too much. If we really decided to go through everything that in detail, we'd be here for like 2 hours. It was just one of the most chaotic games that I've watched in a long time. And to be honest, when the game was still semi-close, like before it became 4-1, 5-1, it really felt like a playoff game to me. I'm really happy with the effort that the Sens brought overall today. I can't be too mad at the team. It just really sucks that the final score ended up being so ugly. Like even when we were down 3-1, like when Giroux scored that goal, after that like crazy 4-on-4 with Tkachuk falling into the goalie and the crowd getting all riled up. When Giroux scored that goal to make it 3-1, it was like, all right, this could be a really hype game. And then of course it just turned into an avalanche of goals for the Panthers. So it just feels unfortunate tonight, and we are now eliminated from playoffs.
Yeah, I think we'll cap off the game recap by just mentioning a couple things on the injury front. I haven't seen an update, but yeah, Watson left. One of the very few players to leave the game not from a misconduct after blocking a shot. So I don't even remember.
Fight. You would have expected him to have been in a fight, but I don't think he did, which is kind of funny.
Did he?
Although
any PIMs at all?
Let's see.
Let me see. Where is he? Watson. 10 penalty minutes.
Wait, did he fight and I just forget?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because how's he gonna get a 10-minute misconduct if he left the game with an injury? Let me see.
I'm so confused. Either way,
that's weird. So he
Watson,
got it.
Yeah, Watson blocked a shot. He's hurt. I can't believe DeBrincat came back after that hit from Tkachuk.
Yeah, early, like when that hit happened, I figured that was going to be a pretty big talking point for the episode, and it ended up not being because it was just such a shit show and so much stuff happened after that. But like when that hit happened, I was just kind of going through my brain trying to think of, is there any way that hit could be called a penalty? And there isn't. Like it was just a completely beautiful old-time hockey hit, just catching a guy with his head down. Unfortunate for DeBrincat,
he's been on the wrong end of that a couple times now, where the hit, I can't remember who it was that hit him. I think was it in the Flyers game where he just went face first into the boards there and ended up with a bloody nose. Like he's been on the wrong side of like otherwise clean hits the last couple
been
weeks.
Taking a beating. But it wasn't a hit to the head. It wasn't interference. It wasn't charging. Like when they were showing the replays, I was like, okay, surely there's something there that Matthew Tkachuk did that made it a little bit dirty. But no, it was just he just absolutely nailed DeBrincat with the clean hit. It's kind of a highlight reel hit, really.
Yeah, and we'll just cap it off by saying DJ Smith also got kicked out of the game. So that's nice
right.
Fun.
We didn't even get to that. So much shit that we can't even remember that happened in this game. It's ridiculous.
And with that, we don't even have to really, do this added segment that we have, because we did talk about this game for a half hour. But unless there's anything else you want to add,
I was just gonna say, Adam Fireburn chat. He's sad the Sens are not extending their season, but just as sad that there aren't many more game overs left. Shout out to you, Adam, in the chat for showing us some love. Yeah, it will be only 3 more shows for us after this.
I only have one more show after this.
Yeah, I'm on alone for the next 2, but I'll miss doing these in the summer.
No.
At least, even though the Sens are not extending their season past this point, at least it's with only 3 games left that we get eliminated. I'm very happy about that. If you told me at the beginning of the season that we would be mathematically eliminated at the 4th last game of the season today, I probably would have taken that. So that's a silver lining here.
Me too. Well, on that note, we do have a trivia segment because we're like, this game sucks. Let's do trivia. And I think this is the most talking we've done about the game before a trivia segment, following just a stinker of a game. But this is going to be a bit different than the last two because we are both going to be playing at the same time. So the way that this is going to work is, let me just switch over to my other screen here. Let's see here. Let me just get the right screen up. So, you're gonna have a tough time with this because you're not seeing my screen. I guess you just have to kind of go over to the stream
here. Do I need to see it? Okay.
So you can head over to the stream. So here's the rules, though, is that we won't be able to look up our answers until afterwards, because if we look up the answers and we're just maybe going to accidentally spoil ourselves for another question. So, and also just I'm just doing my best to avoid the chat. You don't really need to have the chat open once we start the game, once you see kind of the layout and how things are working here. So I have two sheets, one with a list of all the Sens seasons, not including this season. So your game was name the leading goal scorer each season. My game is a randomized stat.
Oh,
so I have a list
random
here.
For each season?
For each season, I'm going to randomize the season and the stat. But the thing is, with the stat, I have 10 things listed, but only 4 different stats. And I have them listed in a way to make the easier ones a bit more common to get versus the rough ones. So you won't see this because of the delay, but for those watching the stream right now, you can see that I have 10 things written down here. So there's 4 stats: points, assists, wins for the goalie, and plus minus. So there's a 40% chance that it's going to be points leader, 30% chance it's the assist leader, 20% chance that it's the win for goalies, which is probably going to be the easiest one out of the bunch, if not points. And then there's a 10% chance that you're going to have to name the plus minus leader for that season, which
plus
is just
it's complete.
It's going to be impossible. So
the
way I'm going to do it is, for each of these, I'm just going to like randomize the row and then, or the column, and whichever one is number 1, that's what it's going to be. So just to save time on this, I think what I'm going to do is we'll each do 5 of them, and then following that, we'll count up the score. And listen, if we're flying through it and having a great time, maybe we'll extend it past 5 each. But we'll probably just do 5 each, because I figure this is going to be a really, really tough one. So
yeah, especially for the early seasons for me.
Yeah. So I also just realized here that, let me just move this to the side. I just wanted to just open up the stream there to check to make sure that everything is working. It looks like it is. So here's what we are going to do. Would you like to go first or second? I think we're going to go back and forth. We're not going to do like one person does 5, next person does 5. We're going to go back and forth. And I am, like I said, because we can't look up answers, I'm going to need you to be taking notes, writing down like this player led in this category in this season. Then we can check all of those after the fact.
I guess I'll go first.
All right. So you're just gonna have to trust me that I'm doing this legally, and you can check back in the stream afterwards. But your season is randomize 0304.
Okay, right before the lockout. All right.
So 0304, and
one of the
your
lockouts.
Stat is assists. So can you name the assist leader for the Sens in the 0304 season?
I feel like it's too early to be Spezza. I feel like he really started taking off after the lockout. But of course, he's the first person to come to mind. Just his rookie season was only a couple years earlier, so I don't know if it would be him yet. I think it's okay. We traded Hossa for Heatley after the lockout, right?
Yeah,
pretty sure. I think it's either Hossa or Alfredson. By the way, do I have to pick a number or just the player name?
Just the player.
Okay. Shoot. I'm trying to remember who would have been the other top 6 center besides Spezza at that point.
If we end up with the same like year and stat, then I'll say we'll do a number for a tiebreaker.
Okay.
But
we can pick the number
the odds
after,
that are pretty low.
if that happens. I'll go with Alfie. I think that's the safe bet, but who knows?
All right. So write that one down.
You got them written down, or am I writing them?
You write them down if that's cool
Okay,
with you.
gotcha. Yep.
So you'll do
I had
assist
I
leader
had the
03,
notepad
04.
ready.
Perfect. All right. Now my go. I've got fucking 94, 95.
Oh,
God.
no. I hope you get plus minus.
Oh, I got wins. Who was the starting goalie in the second
Oh.
season? So I know first. So 92, 93 was Sidorkowitz.
Mhm.
So 94. Let me just double check the season again. 94, 95.
You said
so
yeah, 94, 95.
So 94, 95. The leader in wins.
Oh, I want to go look at it, but
This
then
is so
it could.
tough, right? This is so
Hold
tough.
up. Quick question: If is it possible for me to roll this season again after with a different stat, or will we just do a different season?
Oh yeah, we're doing a different season each time.
Okay. So I can go look at this, and it won't spoil it. Like I won't spoil any other
Unless
stats
you
that
get
I see about
94,
this team.
95 goalie wins, and then I get the win by default, maybe.
That's what I meant, because like I
Yeah.
just opened the Hockey
Okay.
DB page for
So-
94, 95
Oh,
to
this is
see.
tough. So 94,
to see what it
95
is.
for the Sens. So, are we
Oh,
in? Is this a tough
do
one?
do you remember what the team's record was this year?
Not good. I'm imagining
And it's a lockout shortened season.
yeah. So the winningest goalie on the team probably has like 6 or 7 wins or something.
The number is 8.
Man, is this because there was a couple years where it kind of went back and forth, right, between who got the most starts between Damian Rhodes and Ron Tugnut. I think I'm off, but I'm just gonna have to go Ron Tugnut because I love his name. And whenever it's between the two of them, I'm going Tugnut. So
Okay.
write that down for me. Go 90. Yeah, so for 94, 95, goalie wins Tugnut.
Okay, got that.
And I'll get your next one going here. So it's one each. You've got 0910.
Okay, I like that.
You need to let's see here, randomize point leader in 0910.
Okay.
I'm jealous.
I should get this. If I don't get this, I'm gonna feel dumb. Again, it should be Spezza or Alfie. I'm thinking Spezza. I'm gonna go with Spezza this time.
Okay.
So I went with Alfie for the last one. Because it's post Heatley being good and pre Carlson, right. So I'll go with Spezza.
I'm gonna go with 2021. This could be good for me.
Oh,
this
no.
Could be good for me. And I get points.
Points for the Canadian division season, eh?
Yeah, 2021. I'm pretty sure Brady's led the team in points the last several seasons, so I'm just gonna go Brady Tkachuk.
Okay. We will get that written down.
So that's 2 each. Your third one is, your season is 12-13, the shortened season.
I like that. I'm getting good
and
earlier seasons or more recent seasons.
Oh, points.
Points again? Okay. So we did the goals trivia the previous time, and Turris was the leading goal scorer. I'm pretty sure he was the leading point scorer as well.
You know what's bad is I know the leading point scorer and how many points he got that season. I'm very jealous of you with this.
Oh, I think Alfie is like right there with Turris, but I'll say Turris. Can't remember.
Okay.
Oh shit! It might be Alfie actually, but whatever. I'm not changing my answer.
Okay. Oh god, 97, 98 for me.
Oh no!
Oh, this is brutal. This is absolutely
I would be screwed.
Brutal.
I would be screwed if I was getting those ones.
Plus minus.
There it is. There's the plus minus. That's
okay. Well, that's
a brutal one.
I'm pretty sure this is a playoff year.
Probably.
Yashin sat out 99-2000. We know that because of the goal trivia.
Oh, okay. I've just seen the answer. It's an interesting one.
So 97, 98. How good was the team? Which direction do I want to go here? I just want to say Alfie, but I don't. Is it a defenseman?
I think they were a playoff team. Let me see.
Yeah.
This is the second year that the Sens made the playoffs.
Oh fuck! What year was the Brian Berard and Damian Rhodes for Wade Redden no, did Damian Rhodes come in with the Redden trade?
Do you want to know? Do you want a hint on this one?
No. I'm gonna.
Because I can give you a hint relating to the question you just asked, but
No,
it won't give away the player.
Okay, I want to try. I want to try this blind, completely
Okay,
blind.
okay. Just because you're kind of onto something there.
Yeah.
This is a really
fuck. This is
tough guess. It's a tough one to remember, but I think you have a chance at getting it here.
Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Give me the hint. Give me the hint.
Okay, well, you mentioned Damian Rhodes. He is on the team this season.
Okay.
So if that helps at all, it might not.
It might. If Damian Rhodes is on the team, Wade Redden is, or did Damian? Fuck. Yeah, Damian Rhodes came in with Redden in the Brian Berard trade.
I believe that's correct.
I'm gonna put in Wade Redden for 97, 98
okay.
plus minus. That's my guess. It's
all
probably
right.
off. I don't know if he was ever really that defensively sound, but we're gonna go for it. So is that 3 each?
Yes. And okay. I will tell you, I won't tell you who was the plus minus leader, but Wade Redden was a plus. So
okay, I'll take it.
It's a good guess without saying who it was yet.
Fuck you. You get 10-11.
Oh my god. This is very lucky.
Points 10-11.
Okay, this season I think should be Spezza again. Because that's when we started trading people away. I think Carlson started playing this season, but he wasn't. I think he had like 50 points or something that season. I would think that Spezza had more.
Yeah, this would have been Carlson's second season. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll stick with Spezza again. I think Alfie's point totals were a little bit lower at this point, like still near the top of the team, but not quite team leading. So I'll go Spezza again.
Okay. Now my fourth one, please, something in the 2000s.
Yeah, you need to get lucky here.
Something something in the salary cap era. Oh, barely 0506.
0506. Okay, that's a decent one. It's a memorable season.
And points. Okay.
Okay. You should probably get this.
I should. Alfie cracked 100 points. I believe it was either 0506 or 0607, but I'm pretty sure Heatley still led the team. So I'm going to say Heatley. Because I know Heatley had exactly 50 goals, 0506 or 0607. But I'm pretty sure he also cracked over. Well, he definitely hit 100 points. He had 50 some assists. I'm going to say Heatley for points 0506.
Okay, so yep, got that written down.
Is that 4 each?
Yes.
All right,
by the way, since I'm fact checking yours as we go, like I'll know your score right away, and then I might as well quickly check mine after, unless you already checked mine.
No, I'm not on that at all. No.
So I'll read off the scores at the end.
Okay. So for your last one, you have, oh my god, 12-13 again.
Same season. Oh my god.
Okay, it's points again. So that's gonna have to be
a complete re-roll that. Re-roll that.
Fuck you, 16-17. Assists. 16-17 assists.
Assists. Probably Carlson, but let me just think. It would have to be Carlson or Turris. And I'm just trying to think how many points Carlson had this season. I think it was a little bit lower than like point per game because of the whole Boucher hockey. I think it was the season before this season where Carlson had like 82 points and got completely snubbed from the Norris because everyone in the media was like, you have to make the playoffs to win the Norris Trophy, which is just complete bullshit. So they didn't give it to him that year. I think Carlson's points were a little less this season, but I still have to go with him. I don't think Turris would ever put up the assist numbers to have more than Carlson, so I'll go with him.
All right, and then my last one. Come on, please. 11-12. Okay, I'll take it.
Okay,
I will take it.
That's a good one. That's one of my most memorable seasons as a Sens fan.
11-12 and assists. So It's gonna be.
This is tricky, actually.
I'm stuck between Karlsson and Spezza.
Yeah, this is tricky. I actually, like, off the top of my head, I don't know between the two of them.
So this is Karlsson's breakout. I'm trying to do the math in my head because Karlsson had 78 points. I feel like I know that for a fact.
You're correct.
And he would have had, like, he cracked 10 goals. Did he have many more than 15? I don't think so. So if I were to guess, Karlsson probably had in the neighborhood of like 60-ish assists. Now Spezza.
This is a good one.
This is tough. Spezza could have had. Oh. Was this Spezza's last like 80 points in 80 games? I'm pretty sure he was about a point per game this season.
Yeah, pretty close.
Not exactly.
This was the last time in Spezza's career that he got above 80 points. Looking at it now.
I think I got to go Karlsson.
Going with Karlsson?
Just because I feel like Spezza probably scored more goals and they had like about the same amount of points. So I'm going to go Karlsson for assists.
Yeah, since that was the last one, I'll let you know right away. You did get that one correct.
Okay, I would love for you to run through all of these.
Yeah, so I'll since I've already fact checked all of yours, I'll go through yours first, and then I'll slowly reveal mine as I check on HockeyDB and confirm them.
Okay.
So you actually did very well. I'll start with the first one, 94-95 wins for the goalie. This is a very difficult one, so not surprising that you didn't get it.
If I didn't get it, can I give you my backup guess?
Yeah, go for it.
I said Tugnut, which is not correct.
Mm-hmm.
My next guess would have been Don Beaupre.
Oh my god, it was him. With 8
Was Tugnut even
wins.
on the team?
No, not yet.
Fuck, I was too early. on Tugnut. Okay. God damn it.
But I can't remember. I can't believe that you remembered Don Beaupre. I would not have known his name.
I have a lot of 90 Sens cards. So
yeah.
No.
So that one was incorrect.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. But then it was 20-21 for points, and you correctly guessed Brady Tkachuk. He had 36 points, and Josh Norris and Connor Brown had 35, and Batherson had 34. Wow. So this was a really close one. You could have got this wrong, but you got the right guy. It was 4 guys, all very close, but you got that one correctly. And then the next one, I think this is the one that you spent the most time on, the plus minus for 97-98.
Right.
And I cannot believe that you got it correct.
Is it actually Wade Redden?
Wade Redden. By far, by a long shot. No one was close to him at all, actually.
Really?
He was a plus 17, and I don't have it up anymore, but the next closest was like a plus 9 or something. He was by far at the top.
I felt like I wanted to say Alfie, but I was like, I need to go defenseman.
That one was an amazing guess.
And I was like, whenever I got plus minus, I was like, if it's in the Chara years, I'm just going Chara. But of course it wasn't. Like,
yeah.
Oh well. Okay, I am thrilled with that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you got that. And then 05-06 points, you said Danny Heatley, and you were deliberating between Heatley and Alfredson. And it wouldn't have mattered who you picked either way because they tied with 103 points.
Okay. All right.
So you got it. And you got it, and even if you said Alfie, you still would have been technically correct.
Okay, perfect.
I think technically Heatley is the tiebreaker because he has more goals. I think that's how that works, but it doesn't really matter. And then let me just go back to 2012 here. You're correct. Oh yeah, I did tell you already. You're correct with Karlsson as well. So you went 4 out of 5 on that.
I'll take it. I'm mad about my Ron Tugnut guess. I should have remembered it was later 90s. Oh, yeah, I can't believe that.
I can't believe that you had Don Beaupre in the back of your head as your second.
It's because I was like, well, it was like Damien Rhodes and Ron Tugnut for a while. And then eventually when we got to the plus minus, I was like, no, fuck, Damien Rhodes came in with the Redden trade. So then fuck, okay. If
you had that one before the other one, then maybe you would have remembered.
I would have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been. I would have been like, it isn't Tugnut or Rhodes. I maybe would have gotten that. But
all right, so you were 4 for 5, and I have now just pulled up my first one, which was 03-04 assists leader, which was super close. I think I was debating between Hossa and Alfredsson. That's what I was saying. I went with Alfie. Hossa had 46 assists, and Alfie had 48. So I got really lucky on this one. Really lucky on this one that it was
close.
Correct. Yep. I am happy. I'm happy that I was correct in thinking Hossa and Alfredsson. At least if I had said Hossa, I would have been super close.
Right there. Yeah.
Yep. So now 09-10, I said Spezza instead of Alfredsson. And Alfredsson was actually way ahead of Spezza. Alfie 71 points and Spezza 57, but it's Spezza played 10 less games. Alfie played 70 games. Spezza played 60, so they were both like right at point per game. But I forgot that Spezza had an injury that season, so that one is incorrect for me. I'm 1 for 2 so far. And then we'll see if I was correct about Turris having the most points in 2012-13.
You are.
Okay, yes,
29
it was.
points. And I'm pretty sure Gonchar was second on the team in points that season.
Yeah, I remembered Alfie being really close. And I knew Gonchar was up there, but I forgot that he was ahead of Alfie, actually. So that's a funny top 3. Turris, Gonchar, and Alfie. And then, do you remember who was 4th in scoring? Actually, 4th and 5th. Do you want to throw out a couple names? Because this is funny.
Okay, so it goes Turris, Gonchar, Alfie. Carlson missed a bunch of time. Spezza missed a bunch of time. Is like Philip Kuba, was he up there?
Oh, he was gone. He left.
He was gone at that point. Okay,
yeah.
So that's right. Because that's right. He didn't like cross over with Gonchar at all. Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with 12-13. Who was on that team? Weird. I'm gonna throw out a weird one. Colin Greening.
You're close because he was 6th.
Oh wow.
4th and 5th in scoring is Zibanejad and Silverberg. The guys who at the time we thought that was gonna be our future first line pairing was those two guys.
Yeah.
That gives me some nostalgia looking back there. All right, and then 10-11, it was points. I said Spezza, and I was correct about that one. This is another one where Spezza missed a bunch of games. Only 62 games played, but he had 57 points.
Wow.
Which is way ahead of everyone. So Carlson was 2nd. I was correct about him. I think I said he had like 50 points or something. He had 45, so I was very close. I was correct about him being 2nd. And then the last one that I had was 2017 assists. That has to be Carlson. Yeah, it's Carlson. So in the end, we both went 4 out of 5 on that. Got a little tie.
Do you want to go? You want to go sudden death?
You want to try to do like?
Yeah, you want to do sudden
death?
Yeah, let's
do sudden death. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's
go. Are we going one each, and then as soon as someone's wrong, it's over? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Or at least if we both go wrong, then we have to go again until someone gets the clean win.
Okay. In that case, I'm changing it up. I'm going even. We're going 2. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go points twice. I'm going to go everything twice.
Okay.
Get wild.
Let's do it.
And then wins and plus minus. It doesn't let
I
me
like
just
this I like this format. This is a fun one.
All right, so we have an equal chance of getting any of them. All right, so your season is 18-19.
Okay. Oh, this is
wins.
Started becoming shitty. Goalie wins?
Goalie wins 18-19.
Oh.
I'm having a tough time figuring this one out a little bit.
I feel like it should be Anderson, but this is when we started becoming shitty, so he might have been playing less. Like we might have been playing some other goalies. Like I think Marcus Hochberg might have started playing in this season. I don't think he would be leading in wins, but I think this is also that season where British goalie Danny Taylor ended up in a game, which is just something that I always find really funny. They're one of the most random players ever. I'm just trying to think who else. Maybe we had Anders Nilsson by this point, but I think that was the next season. Like I'm pretty sure we still had Andy in like 1920, or at least still in this season. And we didn't really have anyone else yet. We didn't have Matt Murray yet. That was 2 years later. I'll go with Anderson. I think it has to be him. It's gonna be a pretty low.
Are you checking immediately or
no? I'll check them both after we do them.
Okay. All right. Mine is 17-18.
Okay.
Assists.
Ooh, this could be a tricky one.
This one feels like a tricky one. Yeah.
The Sens started falling apart this season, but we still had some guys
Carlson's
like our best players. Yeah, our best players did like good, but not amazing this season. So it could be a bunch of guys who are like really close to each other in point scoring.
Was Stone injured for a bit in this season?
I'm gonna pull this one up while you were guessing.
I feel like I remember because this is the off season. It was the 2018 off season that he went to arbitration.
Yes.
He was still an RFA. He got the 1-year deal, and they shipped him off the next trade deadline. Because I feel like the only one that has any shot of fighting Karlsson for this is Stone, and I feel like he missed some time. So I think I gotta not think about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just gotta lock in Karlsson.
Okay, so you are correct on that one. Stone was second, but he had 11 less assists. Karlsson had 53. Stone had 42. Yeah, 58 games played.
Oh my god, what about Karlsson?
Karlsson was 71 games played.
Okay, so Karlsson missed some time, but like Stone was actually scoring at a really good pace compared to Karlsson.
Yeah.
Assists. Wow.
Stone was above point per game, but had that injury. So you were correct, and let me just fact check to see if mine was correct. I said Anderson for wins.
Yeah, so 18,
Anders.
19?
Yeah, so Anders Nilsson did join the team in this season. But he had 11. He had 11 wins. Craig Anderson had 17. So I got that one correct as well.
Okay.
We will head into double overtime, I guess you could call it.
Here we go. So your season is 2021. Can I not stick you with one 90s season?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a single 90s season.
Oh, wins in 2021.
Oh,
back-to-back wins.
So this is Canadian division. Matt Murray was here, but he sucked ass. And then it was Murray and Hogberg. Joey Decord played a few games, but obviously not enough to have more wins. I'm trying to think if we had any other goalie besides Murray and Hogberg. I think it will be Murray just because he would have played most of the games. I feel like this is a little tricky though. I think it could be Hogberg, but I'm gonna go with Murray. I think it's gonna be close in between them because we didn't win a lot of games that year.
Murray locked in, and for my sudden death is going to be the season 16-17.
Okay.
What did you do for 16-17?
I did assists.
Assists. Okay, so just to make sure I don't do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I got wins. So I feel like that's an easy lock-in for Andy.
That's it. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so lock
Craig
that
Anderson.
in real quick here.
Mike Condon is actually close. But Mike Condon was 19 wins and Craig Anderson was 25. So it's actually closer than you would think because Condon was good that year. But we will go see if Murray was correct. This is a shit show of a year. Yeah, so this is a goofy ass year. Decord 1 win, Forsberg 3 wins. I forgot that he came in this season. I thought that we got him next year.
Yeah.
Hogberg was 4, Gustafsson was 5, Murray was 10. So Murray, just off of playing so many games, ended up getting 10 wins. So triple overtime now. Where we got. I would say those were 2 pretty easy ones, though.
Yeah.
One of us is gonna get hit with a
If
90 season and be completely screwed.
if we're tied after this one, should I delete some years?
Yeah, maybe. We'll
All
see.
right.
We'll see what we get.
You got 94, 95. Finally.
Ah!
Finally.
Oh,
94,
and
95.
I was looking at this season, but I didn't look at anything other than the goalies. So
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is
you
gonna
got
be bad.
wins. That's a do-over. No.
The
No.
do-over.
No. 0708 for you.
Okay.
0708
After the
points.
cup run, points.
Points 0708.
I feel like I might get this wrong because
There's a couple options.
it's the peak of the Spezza line, or not the Spezza line, the pizza line, including Spezza. It's the peak of that line, but it's a little bit at the like later half of them being really good. Like this, I think they started to fall off. Like 06, 07, 05, 06, and 06, 07 was like their peak. And now they should all still be up there, like at least 90 points each, but I'm sure Heatley slipped a little bit this year. Ooh. This is really tough.
This is tough. I'm trying to decide who I would guess.
Oh my god. I will say I'll go with Alfie on this one, but it's a toss up between him and Spezza.
Okay.
I think Heatley would. I don't think it would be Heatley because I think he started to slow down a bit this season. I'll say Alfie.
Okay. My season is 14-15. Hamburglar.
Okay. That's right.
Assists. Oh.
If you got wins on that one, it would have been interesting to see if Hamburglar actually was the wins leader or if he didn't play enough games. That would have been a tricky one. Oh, I wish he got wins.
Assists 14-15. I'm trying to picture the team in 14-15.
I think I know this one, but I'll go look. I can pull it up while you're guessing.
Because it feels like just saying Erik Karlsson feels like it's the safe bet all the time. But 14-15. Who else is on the team in 14-15?
You got
because Karlsson won
David
the Norris. Because Karlsson won the Norris this year. I'm pretty sure he won in 2012 and 2015.
I think so.
This was his weird year. He won with like 60 something points.
Yeah, he won with less points than the other seasons where he got snubbed.
Yeah.
I'll fact check that, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
I'm pretty sure Karlsson had like...
Yes. Yeah, it was Karlsson.
So Karlsson's probably working with like 50-ish assists. Which I feel like that stands up against basically anyone else on the team because like other than Karlsson, this team was not much of an offensive force.
No, especially before the Hamburglar run, they weren't. I don't think they were scoring much.
Yeah, because Stone and Hoffman, their rookie year was.
This was their rookie year.
Yeah. Stone had like 60-ish points as well. I'm pretty sure. This is tough. I think I just gotta lock in Karlsson and stop thinking about it.
Gonna go with Karlsson. Okay, you're correct. Karlsson had 45 assists, and Turris was second with 40.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which is closer than I would have thought. Like right away I knew it was Karlsson, but I didn't think Turris was gonna be that close. So you're correct. And
so you gotta hope that Alfie led the team in scoring in 07-08.
No.
Is it Spezza?
Alfie 89 points and Spezza was 92.
I would have gone.
So
Alfie as well.
I lost the coin flip. Yeah,
I would have gone Alfie as well.
And I knew Heatley had the least of the three of them. He was third, so I was correct about that. But lost the coin flip. So Charlie takes the dub there in triple overtime. But that was a really good streak of trivia where we were getting them correct. Like
yeah, we were
every
killing
single
it.
time. Yeah.
Thank you, Wade Redden, for some reason.
Yeah, if it wasn't for your amazing Wade Redden guess, then I would have won that in the first five.
This was good. I kind of like the randomness of this.
Yes, that's a very good format. I feel like that's one that we could potentially do again too, because you'll get different options
Yeah.
And if we do it, like, say if we don't do it again until next season, then we won't even remember what the hell we guessed before. So
Exactly.
even if
And
we get a similar one.
And because we know we can't fit in another trivia game this season, I'll just tell you a really elaborate one that I thought of that I'm like, I'm never going to do this because it involves so much research and checking. I wanted to be like, who led the team in points out of the players who had their first season with the Sens that year? And I know how that's so specific. So like,
I'm not even sure what you mean.
So out of all the new players, so say, like, I'm just gonna go to random year again. I'll just like as a visual here for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll randomize it to 95-96. What new player on the Sens in 95-96 led all the new, like, out of all the players who played their first game for the Sens that season, who had the most points? Which is so impossible because you're like, okay, well, free agent signings, trades, rookies just being called up, like it's tough.
That's tricky.
And I was like, that involves so much research. I'm never doing it. I was trying to make the most convoluted, difficult game I possibly could, but
that one would take a lot of prep. I'll let you know the one that I was thinking of doing that I didn't have enough time to prepare was I was thinking of doing, like, off the top of your head, how many playoff overtime goal scorers for the Sens can you name? Like each season that they made the playoffs, who scored an overtime goal, and try to list as many of them as you can off the top of your head. And which I think would be tricky, especially as you get into the earlier seasons of the Sens.
I'm going to try it because I'm going to struggle and I'm going to run out so fast. So we've got easy Alfie. Then
sorry, not just like the players, but the specific goals. So if you say, like, instead of just saying Alfie, it would be like, okay, Alfie scored in this year in this series, you know, like if you go by year.
So Alfie, Eastern Conference Finals 07 against Buffalo. Turris against the Rangers twice, right? So Turris was 2012 and 2017, which would have been round 1 in 2012 and round 2 in 2017. I'm already struggling. Bobby Ryan had one. Ryan had one against the Penguins in round 3 in 2017.
I will say I'm surprised you're going at this by the player names instead of the way in my brain I'm thinking of. If I would do it, is I would go like, okay, in this playoff run 2017, who scored overtime goal, and then list the players, and after 2017, and then I would go to the previous year. That's how I would do it by years.
Was Pajot's 4th goal in overtime against the Rangers?
Yes.
Okay, so there's another one. It's all 2017 and 07.
Yeah, all the new ones.
Matt Carkner, triple overtime Penguins 2010.
That's an iconic one that you can't miss. You can't forget that one.
I'm already struggling.
Going past like 2007, then it's really tricky. I think there's only one that I know of for sure, like before 2007, which is Chris Phillips against the Devils.
Yeah,
and I don't remember what year it was. I think it was it might have been his rookie season.
In rookie. Okay. Are you talking? I was thinking of the conference finals against the Devils.
Maybe he had multiple.
Maybe.
I'm gonna do a quick research on this.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah.
Let's see. I seem to remember a goal where he was like banging in front of the crease. Like he might have still been playing forward is the one that I'm thinking of. Like in his rookie season. You remember he played forward a bit? I do see the one that you're thinking of, game 6 against New Jersey. Oh no, maybe it must be this one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, because Hossa goes in, crashing the crease. Hossa comes flying down the wing. I'm watching the clip now. And he centers it, and then someone else, I think, is it Vermette, banging away in front of the net, and then Phillips comes in and follows it up. Yeah, You're correct. This is the one I was thinking of. So I don't know why I thought it was when he was a rookie. I was confusing it. You remember the year, but I remember that he had one. So
the only reason I remember the year is because it was conference finals, and the Sens have a very easy number of conference finals to remember.
Yeah, so, not very
unfortunately. Many. But I think I'm maxing out there. I think that's
the thing. If I sat down and tried to do this, I don't think I would get that many more than you did. The only one that I can
wait.
I was about to say the only one.
Was there an overtime game against Boston?
So Boston, there was two that we won. Bobby Ryan and Clark MacArthur.
Okay,
Oh, and
Clark
Dion
MacArthur
Phaneuf.
was.
There was three. There was three. Dion Phaneuf.
I was in my head. I was going MacArthur and Phaneuf, but I couldn't remember if they were just
Three.
overtime or if they were just game-winning goals, like in
I think
regulation.
I think Bobby Ryan had one too. I just can't remember because there was a game that we won 1-0 and that he scored the only goal. But I can't remember.
That is so
I think
tough.
I think every win in that series for us was overtime. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it.
This is tough.
I got these.
Oh.
I got these quick Google searches. I'll get this right away.
This is difficult.
Here it is. Bruins versus Senators.
From Adam in the chat, it is truly amazing how much you both know about the Sens. Fun to watch these trivia games. Thanks, Adam.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Adam.
Yeah, we you know, and you know what's funny is I was so sure that like during the interview process, I was gonna get grilled on like knowledge for the team, and not at all. I don't know about you, but not at all.
It was mostly like questions about the current team, like not the type of things that we do in trivia now here. It was kind of them seeing how we would just talk about the team, like questions about the one I always remember is they asked me about Eric Branstrom. I remember Adam was like, so what's with Eric Branstrom? Is he gonna finally put it together this year? And I remembered I was like I was kind of doubting him. So it's funny how that turned out that we are all in love with Eric Branstrom at this point.
I think the only hockey question they asked me was Jesse asked me where the Sens are going to finish. And I said, I think they're going to be the best team in the East outside the playoffs. And Adam said, that's where I put them as well. And I said, I don't like my answer anymore. And then they all laughed. And then I got the job. So.
Oh, yeah. I think they asked me the same thing. I don't remember what I said. I think I said a pretty similar thing, but I wish I remembered. I think I said roughly the same.
First thing they did was ask me about the 67 CC jersey on my wall.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Quickly circling back to the Bruins series, I was correct. It was Phaneuf, Ryan, and MacArthur. Not all of the wins were in overtime. I was correct. There was a 1-0 win in which Bobby Ryan scored the only goal, but that was in regulation. But then the other game, Bobby Ryan also had OT winner in that one too.
God, bring me back.
Those were the good days. At least, we've had our best season in the last 6 years. So there's that, I guess. Progress. And you know what? Like, I know we were all saying it a bit this season, but I think we can all firmly believe next season it's playoffs or bust. So yes, it's do or die next season. All that to say, we should definitely hold off on that kind of talk until a week from today. I think actually is our last Game Over episode. Is going to be is that Thursday night against the Sabres? Yes, it's on Thursday. Yeah. Yep. So we'll save that conversation for then. That's also going to be a very long episode, I think. So if you're down for a real long one, we can talk about draft. We can talk about off season. We can do everything. That'll be fun. There's going to be lots to talk about. Wrapping everything up. Yeah. In the final game. All right. Well, that was a fun episode. Never mad about trivia. That's always a good Hell time. Yeah. All right, so I guess with that we'll call it a show. This is the third episode of Game Over Ottawa to crack an hour. All of them trivia episodes because we might crack an hour on the last episode without trivia. Honestly, so I think we will. Goes. I think we'll at least get pretty close. Yeah. We'll ask Rob very nicely to let us borrow his Zoom account again. So just to pull back the curtain a bit, everyone who's watching and listening, if there's an episode that goes over the Zoom time limit, it's because Rob was nice enough to let us use his Zoom account, and for the good of Game Over Ottawa. Next year we'll get our own. We'll split one. That's the plan. We're gonna bring one on next year, and that way we can have our guests on for a little bit longer. So. All right, well, anything you want to say to our lovely, lovely listeners before we sign off for the night? I think just super thankful for anyone who's stuck around with us this long, hanging out all night on the stream, and anyone as well who is listening after the fact. Just very grateful for anyone who listens to our show. I'm just going to say ditto because that's, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, thank you everyone for listening. And if you haven't, like the stream and subscribe to SDPN. And tell all your friends about Game Over Ottawa because they're gonna love it. And that's a fact. All right, well, not we. Maude's gonna see her for the next 2 games. So next game is what? Is that Saturday? I want to say.
Yeah, Saturday versus Tampa.
That'll be a fun one. All right, well,
Yeah.
Maude will see all you folks on Saturday, and I'll see you in a week. Wow, that's a long time. Yikes. All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.